Welcome all. I'm Wheal, founder of Breedr, and then we've got Chris Freeman. Chris, do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, evening everyone. So I work as a product manager at Breedr, kind of on the livestock management side of the app. So yeah, that's what I do. And as part of that, I've been looking into the breeding side of Breedr, hence why I am sat in front of you tonight.
So we just wanted to create a tongue twister, breeding with Breedr. No, thank you all very much for joining. So we're excited tonight to sort of take you through a bit of a how-to of the breeding tools and what we've got in the system to help with breeding, bulling, servicing, and also looking at sort of using data for dam and size selection as you move forward as well. So really appreciate you coming along. Chris, you want to flick to the next slide. So within Breedr, there's already a number of areas that you may have already found as you've been using the app where you can log activities. We've recently added new information around pregnancy status, and we've added new alerts that get automatically created around births and PD tests. So there's lots of stuff that can already be logged into the app. So tonight we thought we'd take you a bit of a run through about the whole season of breeding throughout the year and all the different things that you can do. So thank you so much for joining on all of that, and we'll give you a bit of a demo. However, I think, as we start to think about it, we just want to probably do a quick poll, as we've got people still joining in at the moment, but we'll do a quick poll with everyone who's joined. We're hoping just to get an idea of who is capturing what data at the moment and go from there. So I've just hopefully just launched the poll. It'll be good to get a bit of a perspective from people of what they are capturing. So if you're able to click on it, it should be multi-select, so you can select everything if you want to and go from there. So Chris, when you've been doing your things, you've been working with a lot of farmers on developing this. What do you think are the main bits of data that people are collecting? So
yeah, I think the main stuff is obviously logging when a calf is born, and identifying who the parents are. But I think even from during that kind of time, there's extra bits of information that, if we can capture them, can offer massive benefits going forward. And effectively, that's what we at Breedr are trying to achieve and trying to offer. Ease of capture that then offers really valuable insights. And we've got a couple of features that I can demonstrate tonight that should exemplify that.
Perfect. We've got 9 out of 14 people. So a few more just putting in some votes now as they come through. So we'll just keep that one open for a little bit and give a few other people a chance to join. So yeah, but I think what we're seeing is obviously all the standard things, but it's great to see things like calving age right up there of everyone capturing that information, and I'm assuming using it for dam selection and possibly sire selection as well, depending on how you're running your data. So perfect. So we might just end the poll there. We've got a fair few people to put some responses in, and hopefully everyone can see the results that's coming through. I'm assuming that AI is because not everyone is AIing and are using bulls. So go from there. So I'll just share those across. Can everyone see the results? I'm hoping that's the case. So yeah, I think now we wanted to just sort of start to probably hand over to you, Chris, and I'll let you to start going through what is a year in breeding in Breedr. So
yeah, thank you very much. So I'll let me sort my screen out and hopefully get my screen up. Okay, so this is
sorry, I can there you go, working perfectly.
There we go, live TV for it. So yeah, so as Ian's already said, that we within Breedr there's a number of different kind of existing breeding related features. And what we and the team have been working on recently is kind of one of two things: is adding some extra features, but with the intention of effectively bringing all of those breeding related features together, that essentially offers our users what I kind of like to call a suite of breeding tools. So it's just trying to bring everything together and link everything up. And what I wanted to do tonight was just do kind of a run through demonstration of well, as many as I can squeeze in that's not too rushy. So I kind of wanted to start the journey then at logging a PD test. So on farm, as we're fully aware, logging a PD test requires the vet coming in. So you'll have the animal in the crush. So what we can do on the app is if we click on Quick Weigh on the front screen, that will take us into crush mode. And then we've got the animal in the crush. So if we've got an EID scanner, we can search for her, or we can type her in. So 2381 and select her. I can enter her weight in there if I want to, so 500. But what I can also do from this screen is if I click on the yellow plus icon at the bottom, I can log an activity, and then I can go to breeding and select PD test. And then from here, then I can obviously log that PD test information. So I can select the date. There's pre-populated for today, but just for the sake of this demonstration tonight, I'm just going to backdate it to November when I did it. So my result was positive, and the vets told me she's 150 days. One, and then I can select the sire, save and continue. And then I can click on the next arrow to do the next cow that comes in, or if I click on the pause button, then that completes the session. Save and finish. And then what that does is, as you can see, that cow there, 2381, she's now got a pregnancy status that you can see there. And what it has also done, so if I click into her, so this is her information. So it's done one of two things. So it's now got a pregnant icon there in the middle. And if I click on that, then what it does, it's calculated the due date. Now, I will openly admit that we need to work on the date format here. Wasn't quite supposed to go like that. So that's something that we will change. But what it's also done is in the top right-hand corner, it's created an alert for her. So I can see that now it's calculated, it's created an alert based on that due date. And then what I can do from there is if I go into my settings by clicking on the avatar, what I can do is I can go to my notification settings. I can turn my daily digest alerts on, and that means that I'll get a push notification on the morning of when that alert is due, so that I'm aware. And then what I can also do, so if I PD test all of my animals and it's creating all of those due dates, I can then come onto the web portal, and I can navigate to the reports, scroll down to the bottom and select the alerts. And what this report does is it shows in a calendar format when all of those alerts are due. So if I filter by the pregnancy due date, then effectively what that gives me is a calving calendar. So then I can see when cows are going to be due, and if I were to click on one, then it will show me who that animal is. So really, really effective. If I go back onto the mobile, so I've obviously logged my PD test, and now it's coming around to calving. So what I can do here, you can see there's that alert there for that cow. So what I can do from the point of PD calving, the next step then in the breeding cycle is at calving. So again, I can create that animal on birth. And from here, I can type in the passport of the calf, which is going to be something along the lines of this. That, and then I can enter in all of this extra information.
So just a question, I'll just jump in there, Chris. Rob had a quick question on, does it have a drop-down list of available tags? You see that Chris hasn't got that at the moment. We're adding in the first sort of 6 digits as a template in the next few weeks. So that'll be one of the first thing that comes back into it. And then after that, we'll be working on adding in the drop-down of available tags. But the first thing is we didn't want you to retype that first 6 digits. So we are still adding that into the app. And so apologies that it's not in there, but it's a good question and it's something we're working on.
Yeah, no, definitely. So that's obviously the first page of creating an animal. Save and continue. And then what happens is it comes onto this second page, and this is where I can log all of that information about calving ease. So again, I can put all of this in, so I can say 37 kilo weight, birthing difficulty was absolutely fine, birth presentation normal, birth size, I'm going to say average, birth abnormalities no, and the vigor was great. So save and continue. And then, so I've now just created that animal, and that will then update the pregnancy status of that, of the dam. But now what I can do is, so from logging that, creating that animal, is if I have synced my account to BCMS, which you can do through settings, farm settings. So from here, you can connect and sync with BCMS. And if you make sure that you tick this send registrations and movements to BCMS, then once you've created and logged that new birth, that will then create a movement to send straight to BCMS, which if I go onto the regulatory tab here, there you can see that registration ready to approve. And this is the important thing, is although you've created that movement in the app, in the mobile, you must come onto the web portal to approve and send that off. And I can do that, approve and send, and then that's my BCMS movement done. But going back to logging that calving ease, is if I search for that mother again, so 2381, there she is. From this page, I've got 3 tabs: performance history and offspring. If I click on the offspring, what it does is it starts to create a table. So this was a heifer, so this is her first calf, and basically what it does is it logs all of that information here in this table, and it will log this information for every single calf that she has, so that what that enables me to see is over the years and after all of her calves that she has, can I start to see a potential genetic trend that she is showing in terms of calving performance. So as another example, so this does it for the dam, but it also does it for the sire as well. So if I search for my sire, by going back here, 10, there he is, there's my bull. And again, if I click on his offspring tab, I can see that he is produced 60 offspring and a perfect 50-50 split of male and female. But again, I can see from here that as a bull, he's pretty good. Like, I'm pretty happy with that. You know, his birth size is average to small. That's his average, you know, birth weight. Difficulty seems to be pretty good, and the vigor of his offspring. So again, I can use this kind of information here to get a really good insight into the genetic performance of my breeding stock based on their calving ease potential, and then I can make relevant replacement or culling decisions from that. Similarly, if I go to the reports, I've got the dam performance and the sire performance, and what this effectively does is the same thing. So it's analyzing the dams and the sires offspring's performance, but this is all to do with daily live weight gain. So again, you can see who's producing the best daily live weight gain, average weight at 200 days and 100 days. And again, that's the same for the sire performance as well.
So just where you pause there as well, Chris, just another question about adding birthing vigor later. So yes, you can go in and add in the birthing figure later. If you just go into that calf and edit the animal, then it will let you apply and add that birthing figure information afterwards. So that can be done on an animal by animal basis. You'll see the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner there that Chris has on the mobile screen. If you choose edit down the bottom, that will then take you through and save and continue because it's already got that information. And there you can add in all of that birthing information. So hopefully that answers your question on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. Go back and you can backdate that and it will start to populate it. Perfect. Any other questions? Keep firing them through and we'll do our best to answer them. So moving on really to one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about tonight was this is the official launch tonight of a new breeding report that we've been working on, and I can officially reveal it here. So the purpose of this report is, as we are aware, there are a number of very important industry recognized KPIs for suckler farmers, breeding farmers, and you can use those kind of KPIs to benchmark your own business against industry standards, but you can also use them to to track the progression of your herd. And what we have done here is we have created a report that produces those KPIs based on logging those breeding activities in the app. So what it's done here is it is created based on a service year. So we have deemed the service year as starting at the point of service, so bulling and serving the cows, and so from service to service, that is what we deem as a service year. And we've divided this report up into 3 sections. So we've got service, followed by pregnancy diagnosis and calving. And as you can see, it's creating all of these different KPIs. So number of bulls used, number of cows. I mean, I'm not going to go through all of them in detail, but there's things like, herd, return to service, return to estrus. And then on the side here is just a nice visual graph, so you can see the performance, difference year on year. If you are looking at this report and you're not quite sure what the KPIs mean, what you can do is you can click on the definitions icon up here, and it opens this screen, and it basically just explains to you each KPI, how it is calculated, and what activities that you need to complete within the app in order to create those KPIs and populate those KPIs. So for example here, so the number of bulls used, we calculate that when you log an AI activity or an introduce or remove sire activity, and you list who the sire is, well, that's the data we pull. So really simple, really easy for you to do, and this is what it produces. So again, pregnancy diagnosis, the amount of positive and negative, you can track your fertility. This is obviously demo data, so my fertility is pretty good. And then again on calving, so one of the important KPIs is the percent of animals calving in the first 3 weeks. So again, we can see that in 2017 I was at about 35%. Well, I've been working on that, and this year I'm at 56.76%. And then again, we can see here that so the service year is 2020, so these were served last June. They're calving now, and I've got 7 left to go. So this report is, so in order to benefit from this report, get logging those activities, which again you can do on the mobile or also on the web as well. But also, if you've got any historic data, if you've got any, if you've got dates of when you did PD test or dates of when you introduced the bull and removed him, then again you can use the custom import function by clicking on the import data, custom import, and choosing the activity, and then you can import an Excel spreadsheet of all of that data, and you can get it in and you can start benefiting from it today.
So Chris, just a question on the chat. Will we create a table that pulls the offspring data and calving data together? So I think, you know, we were talking about it earlier in terms of our dam performance. Obviously, Rob, now sort of taking you through the breeding KPIs, but I think there's the progeny weight gain and performance combined with the calving is another thing that we'd like to expand on. And actually, if you have we were talking about it before this, about how we can improve it. So I think it would be good to give you a call, because it's something we can do over the next few weeks for you if it's something of interest.
Yeah, definitely. And again, like on that note is, yeah, anything that you would want to see in the app, any improvements, if there is anything you don't like or you would like to see, then, you know, please do get in contact. You know, we're try to engage with our users as much as possible, and any feedback is really valuable. So any other questions coming up?
Just one from Liz. Are you introducing a KPI for cow efficiency, weight of cow and calf at 200-day weaning?
Yes, we will. So again, this report, we've started with the service data, PD and calving data. And literally the next thing that will come at the bottom is all of that weaning information. So yeah, so weaning weight of the calf, targeting 50% weaning weight of the cow. So yes, it will come. It's definitely on my radar, and it's on my to-do list.
Right. And then another one from Anonymous, can you export data as well as import? Yes, absolutely. Chris, do you just want to show on the reports in the top right how you can download all of that data as well in those 3 dots? So this is your data as a farmer. You can export everything you want to. So there's a CSV that will download it. Also on your list of animals, you can download data as well. So all of that is available, and available for you to download whenever you want through the app. If you want to take all of your animals out, you can also do that, obviously.
Yeah, so it will allow you. I just clicked on the wrong one, so I only downloaded the data of the graph there. But again, if you find the 3 dots there, you are able to. Brilliant. Okay, so I mean, if there aren't any other questions, just a really quick kind of what's coming up. So we are working at the minute. So where I showed you earlier that when you log a PD test, we create alert based on the due date. What we're working on at the minute is effectively creating and building the same functionality, but onto the bulling activity. So when you log a bulling activity, so you see the cow bulling, you log the activity, and it literally just captures the date. Really simple. But what we will do is we will also create an alert based off that activity that will alert you to go and check on that cow we're going to default it to 20 days, but you will have the option of changing that. So whether you want it at 19 or 21, but it'll be defaulted to 20 days. So again, it'll be a nice, reminder just to go and check and see if that cow is bulling again. What else are we doing? Loads of things. So the identify the offspring, so that feature that you saw on the web, we're going to replicate that on the mobile. Yeah, loads of things going on, and anything else that you ask for, of course.
Question from Rob, are we still working on sheep? Actually, yes, we have some very good news about that. That is definitely in the pipeline, and we're actually just expanding the team to do sheep and pigs and goats, if you have any goats, but sheep first. So there's definitely news coming on that, and before, I think we've already got a few test farmers lined up to start testing that when we have the first iteration of it, which will basically be what we've built for beef, but for sheep. Then there's a few other things we need to add in as well to make it really easy for sheep. So looking forward to that. And yeah, Rob, if you're interested, it'd be great to catch up on that one as well as we move it forward. And so I think I missed one question from Monty, but I think something that we haven't done, Monty, unfortunately, just yet, but discussed, which is when we've got recording the bull introductions, how can that then just automatically update the sire as we go through PD testing and so on? So I think that's, Chris, one for you. I know we've discussed it, but I don't believe we've done it just yet.
No, we haven't done it, but again, it is definitely on my radar, and it's like, again, all of these breeding tools, like there's definitely areas that we are going to develop and want to focus and improve on. So, and that's definitely one of them.
An important one, as we do release these though, we will backdate any of that sort of information. So if the activities are logged, we'll go back and we'll make sure that alerts and everything are created. So that will be there as well for you. So
brilliant. That was kind of, was that another question coming through?
Mate, there's lots of questions coming through.
Yeah,
We'll be able to show the data around seeing the accuracy of PD date and actual date of birth. So I think a report which you're already working on, I believe.
The accuracy, what?
In terms of our predicted birth date, so versus what actually happened.
Oh, I see. Yes. Yeah. Again, something that's in the pipeline, something we are working on and looking at.
Great. And sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the questions. It might be worth, just for those that haven't seen it, Chris, you just want to quickly show them how to put the sires in, because obviously you have the bulls, but we also need to have the sires set up as the breeding sires in the sire area as well.
Yeah. So if you navigate then to your settings and click on sire information, and really simple, just click on the big plus icon there and just add them straight in. Easy peasy.
Great. Another question on the AgriDent 600. Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. We've just done the Gallagher one. We've just done the Allflex one. We haven't finished the AgriDent one yet, if I'm correct.
No, not quite yet. Not quite yet. But like all things, work in progress.
And definitely something that we know is on the radar for sheep as well. As we do sheep, a lot of sheep farmers are using that stick. Yeah. So we definitely need to have it done.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Great. Guys, so hopefully that gives you a quick introduction. I think, the next bit obviously is sort of moving, well, you've got putting the sires out, introducing sires into the groups. So able to select the groups, select all the animals in a field and be able to add and introduce sires into that. And then the bulling activities as well, you'll be able to select individual cows and log those bulling activities, which will generate the alerts that Chris was talking about. So that's obviously the stuff for those of you who have finished calving. Obviously for a number of people still calving, and some we know calving right up to the middle of the year. So yeah, lots still happening and lots of work still ongoing to make it better and better as we go through. There's some stuff we're doing on for pedigree guys, but that will be later in the year. So apologies, we haven't got to that as yet in terms of pedigree registration. So, but that will be something that will come after the middle of the year, unfortunately. So, and ready for next year. Great. So if there's not any more questions, I don't believe there is at the moment. Yeah, Chris, is there anything else from you?
No, that was it really. Just again, trying to focus on trying to bring all of these breeding tools together, and just trying to kind of offer value to logging these activities. So bulling activity you can see on the screen. It's so simple, quick, easy, effective. And if you can log those kind of activities, then things like the Breeding KPI report can be populated. And the idea is you will get a lot of value out of doing those activities. So as my kind of closing statement.
And then someone's just sent me a note on the allied weighing. However, you're anonymous, so if you wouldn't mind dropping me an email, because the guys have just been working on this and a few technical challenges, but we're getting through it. So if you wouldn't mind dropping me an email or Chris an email, my email's ian@breedr.co. It'd be great to have a chat to you about it, if that's all right. So yeah, so I think, guys, thank you so much for joining, and really appreciate you taking time out. We promised it'd only be 30 minutes, and we're now getting to the end of that. So we will also be sharing this recording later, so if there's anything else you want to come back and have a look at, please do. Finally, I think from our side, you know, obviously a lot of suckler farmers on here tonight and a lot of breeding. We've obviously got a lot happening as well on the trading side, and so we're seeing good stuff happening with store market at the moment, and we've also launched some guaranteed beef contracts. If you do have spare grass over the summer, let us know. We've got a number of calves coming through. If you're willing to, not everyone is willing to bring in calves for growing during that phase, but if you do, also be interested in having a chat. So, and we're doing stuff around cost per kilo gain and on those contracts and guaranteed future prices. So yeah, lots happening at Breedr, and yeah, thank you all again for all of your support. Some people have been using it and feeding back for years who are on here at the moment, and really appreciate all the support to get us where we are, and the more feedback the better as you start to use this. So thank you all, and have a great evening. Yeah, it's been great to catch up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.